Now, on Saturday, November 5th is World Tsunami Awareness Day, and as the head of Tobago's emergency agency, we will speak this morning with Mr. Allan Stewart, who's the director of Tobago Emergency Management Agency. He joins us via Zoom. Good morning to you, Mr. Stewart.
Hi, good morning, and good
Well,
morning all of Trinidad and Tobago.
welcome back to the Now Morning Show. We appreciate having you on the show whenever we do. We're talking tsunami awareness. And tell me, what's the possibility of a tsunami hitting Tobago, and how prepared are we for that possibility? And which side of the island is most vulnerable? I feel like I want to ask all the questions one time.
Well, that's fair indeed. I know you have a very rushing morning, and therefore, let us see how we can attempt an understanding of what is happening, what is the risk towards tsunamis. We live in a zone that can be considered to be very seismic. As a result of that, we live on an island as well, and therefore, the expectation of a tsunami should be as real as possible. You have a situation where even at the some people make relevance to what is to the north of Trinidad and Tobago, which is Jenny, just 12 miles north of Grenada. As a result of that, the seismic community have really put a spin onto this as to whether it is a real threat, passive threat, or a perceived threat. The fact of the matter is that there is a seismic activity that can occur as a result of earthquakes occurring at Jenny, which is a submarine volcano. The reality of it is that, one, there are two things. One, if it was to produce a tsunami, it will not be a significant tsunami to affect us negatively in the way it will be catastrophic. No, it will not, based on the size of the dome at this stage of the tsunami. So you may have a lateral blast that may cause it to blow. The other side of it is that if it were to happen as it continues to grow, then we only have 3 minutes to be prepared. That is as a result of where Jenny is located, to the north of Grenada, and we are just at 11 degrees north of the equator. And therefore, yes, as time goes on, it grows the potential of generating a tsunami that can affect us. But at this stage, no. The other thing is that there's the other type of tsunami that we always have to be prepared for as the sits in the small island developing states. It's incredibly important for us to understand that the tele event is that event that we always have to be prepared for. That event that can occur, tele meaning distance, a distant event that occur, we did not hear it, we did not see it, we did not feel it. And therefore, what happens in a case like that? In a case like that, as early as 2008, through the efforts of the Tobago House of Assembly, we embarked on a tsunami program for the island of Tobago, which allowed us to install, at that time, 2 outdoor community early warning systems. These systems are now increased to about 4. So we have 4 on the islands currently. We looked at the southwest area of the island, and that is to answer your question, which you asked, well, which is the most vulnerable side of the island. I normally will tell people anywhere else besides southwest of the island,
Yeah.
you could run 100 miles, 100 meter dash, and you're at high ground. That's the
Okay.
reality of the game because it's
Nice.
hilly. But in the southwest, you don't have that luxury of time. So therefore, we placed 3 of those early warning systems in the southwest end of the island. As soon as you come off, leave the airport to the left, within a quarter mile, you can see our early warning systems. And especially they allow for those persons who enjoy Storby and those low-lying areas, those hotels that are located there. Another
Mr.
factor
Stewart,
that we put into it, yes, go ahead.
let me just jump in quickly. You mentioned Jenny just now, and I'm curious. I know the last eruption of that volcano would have been in 2015. Was Tobago impacted in any way with tsunamis or any sort of rising tide based on that eruption?
No, the fact of the matter is the age of, most of these islands from Saba right down to Grenada are volcanic islands. We were born out of volcanic activity. That's the reality. Most,
Mm-hmm.
take away those of us who have linked to the South American plate. But so you have those islands in the sea. And Jenny is one of those growing islands, maybe a few 100 or 1,000 years, again, it will become an island out of the sea. But at this stage, I just want to make it emphatically clear that even though there is an explosion, the seismic community indicating it will not be a disastrous impact as it relates to tsunami explosion.
All right, fantastic.
So that's cool to understand.
Yeah, tell me now more about those early warning systems. How often are they tested, and do we have drills regarding them, and they're maintained and updated all the time?
Yes, so we have a very tight program. Early warning systems provide that type of intelligence. They are multi-hazards early warning systems. So apart from tsunami warning, there are other warnings. But let us speak specifically to the tsunami because it's so unpredictable. So you have a situation where it requires us to test them at least once per month, the first Thursday in every month.
Okay.
We test our early warning system between 11:30 and 12:30. It coincides with the national regional alerting mechanism that is set up by the Pacific Warning Center in regards to tsunami alerts for this region. They test around that same time. They send the emergency messages. You know, the rest of us, we go about our business. We don't know what's taking place. But they send that on a monthly basis to the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service, who makes that immediately that information available to us, and therefore we choose that time to test our system simultaneously. On a yearly basis, we conduct these maintenance schedule. On a 2-year basis, we change out our batteries because they are solar powered, things like that. And of course, on a yearly basis, we get involved in drills that allow us to test it. Over the years, I think for the past, takes this pandemic away, we would have lost a few years. We have what you call the NEED, the National Emergency Exercise Day. And on a regular basis, we try to fuse that into our yearly testing or simulation exercises. But on a monthly basis, these sirens are tested. And because we have a very transcendental society in the southwestern end of the island, where, you know, people just come through for a weekly holiday and they may be hearing these horns, they want to know what it is. So the hoteliers in that area, they are acquainted with it, they hear the tones, they're able to tell the guests, don't worry, that is steamer testing their early warning system. They do so on the first Thursday of every month. Knock on wood, it's done every single month, the first Thursday, unless there is unless there is school exams or something that will avoid it from testing, you know, causing a disturbance to the pupils.
So, Mr. Stewart, today being the first Thursday of the month, we can expect that test to be happening today?
Today being the first Thursday of the month at around 11:30, those sirens will be blast. Certainly.
Fantastic.
Like clockwork.
Tell me what happens in the event that this is not a drill and it's actually real. When those sirens go off, what are people expected to do?
There are two things that happens. We have established in 2008, we started a program which is augmented as much as we can, where we released DVDs to the community itself. So they know exactly what's the drill. They are asked to go to their muster point. The muster point outlined in the tutorial, which allow them to know exactly where to go. One of that is that in the Montgomery area where there is it's a reasonable 100 feet above sea level, and therefore they're asked to go to there or move to high ground. What is high ground? One will ask the question, well, what is high ground? If I tell you go to 100 feet above sea level, what does that mean in essence to the man on the street? In essence, a regular pole on the streetway is about 57 feet in length. 57 feet in length, the regular pole. 7 feet of that pole is placed within the ground, and what is exposed, if you pay attention to a pole, you'll see a black marking to the bottom of the pole, just as it comes out of the earth. That is the end of that 7 feet in terms of the length. So if you look at two pole stacks together, that will give you an average that if you're above 100 feet above sea level. So you move to high ground. That is what is required of you. Persons who are challenged in the area, they are asked to put what you call a white cloth or white piece of cloth on their doorknob. In other words, if you cannot be, you cannot move yourself, you're not ambulatory, you are asked to do that. So I'm using this program this morning for those of you who are listening, because maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago, you were quite okay. You may have come down with diabetes, you may have lost a leg or so, or you might be physically challenged by some arthritis or something like that, where you cannot move around properly. If you're in a situation, you need to make yourself known by just putting a white piece of cloth on your doorknob on the outside. That allows the rest of the community to know that you are physically challenged, you are special needs, and you need to do that. One of the things that we did too is that we did what you call a special needs survey, in that we're able to geotag our special needs, know exactly where they are. And, we have fostered this relationship with the community. We'll be strengthening that through a CERT 1000 strong program, where we allow these CERT technicians within the community to know these special needs and know where they are. But these are the tell signs, symbols that we utilize. And also we're going to strengthen that going forward by even putting replacement stickers on their post boxes or poles, as the case may be, so that you can know that the special needs is living there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Stewart, I want to thank you so much for all the work that you've been doing to make sure we are as prepared as possible and as aware as possible as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
The pleasure is mine, and you have yourself a wonderful day, and continue doing that fantastic job that you make so easy.
All right. Thank you very much. Take care. That's Mr. Allan Stewart, the Director of Tobago Emergency Management Agency, just bringing us a little bit closer to more awareness when it comes to tsunami preparation and how we can do so, as of course November the 5th is Tsunami Awareness Day, and Tobago is always going to be prepared and always going to be a decent amount of alert to make sure that we know what's going on. Every Thursday, first Thursday of the month, today, 11 o'clock, look out for those sirens. We take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up Tobago Carnival. Stay tuned.